Hello everyone. So in this lecture we will see the nested queries. Now in SQL it provides additional features which is used to specify more complex retrievals. Okay, like you have seen the basic queries like for the data retrieval we are using select query, right? Select from and where clause. But if you want to execute or if you want to fetch the information which involves joining of multiple tables or like you want to perform some aggregate function on the data values or you want to group according to some of the attributes. So there are a lot of things you have to include or you want to combine in a single query. Okay, so in that case, to achieve these kind of complex retrievals, SQL provides additional features. Now first we will see the comparison which involves null values. Okay, so as I have discussed in the previous sessions when I'm explaining about the properties of relational database, in that the attribute can have atomic value or it can have a special value which is nothing but the null value, right? We have seen attribute, each attribute must be single valued or the atomic value and it can have only the simple or single valued data, or it can have a special value which is called as null value. Okay, now what is the meaning of this null value? Null value means the data can be unknown, okay, or it is not available at the moment, and then it is not applicable. Now what is mean by unknown value? Now you are entering some details about the employee and you have to enter his passport number. Okay, at that moment you don't know what is his passport number, so data is unknown at that moment. Okay, and unavailable means even though you have a information but you don't want to put that value in the table or in the database, so then it is unavailable. And not applicable attribute, here some of the attributes may not be applicable for the for all entity sets. Okay, say if you don't have official number, official contact number, then that field is not applicable. Okay, so in that case we will put the null value. So unknown means you don't have a attribute value at that moment, and unavailable or withheld even though you have but the user has not entered the values. And not applicable attribute means certain fields are not applicable for the particular entity set. Now, if I say you have to enter your UG degree or PG degree details, but you don't have a UG degree detail or PG, then that column will be kept as null. Okay, it is not applicable. Now, each individual null value, it is considered to be different. Okay, it is considered to be different from every other null value. That means you cannot compare null value with null value. Okay, there is no comparison between null with null. Now SQL uses three valued logic. That means, see, usually in the logical operation we say true or false, but here in SQL we have three valued logic. That means true, false and unknown. Okay, now we'll see the logical operations. In logical AND, if both the values are true, we'll get true, and if one of them is false, then we'll get false. But if you have true and unknown, you're comparing true with unknown, then what happens? If you take logical AND, then you'll get unknown, because I don't know whether this value is true or false. Okay, that's why the result will also be unknown. And if I take false and unknown, then we'll get false. Similarly, for the OR operation, if we are comparing, or if we are having the values true and unknown, then we'll get true. If it is false and unknown, then the result will be unknown. And with unknown value and second operand is also unknown, means you will get unknown as the result. Okay, and in the NOT operation, logical NOT, if it is true, then you are getting false. If it is false, means it is true. That means you are negotiating this. And then unknown means you will get unknown. Okay, so like this we have three valued logic: true, false, and unknown. Now, how to compare any attribute using null values, or if an attribute has null value, then how you can compare this? So SQL allows queries that check whether an attribute value is null using the operators is or is not null. Okay, if you're comparing the value whether it is null, then you have to use is, and if you're checking if it is not a null value, then you have to give is not null. So here you can see the example. We are finding the employees, like first name and last name, we want to know the employees who do not have supervisors. Okay, that means in the supervisor column we will have null value. So such tuples we want to retrieve. So what is the comparison here? Where super SSN is null. Now suppose you want to display all the employees name who are having supervisors, then here instead of is null you have to write is not null. Okay, so while comparing with the null value, we'll use the operators is or is not. Now we'll see the nested queries. What does mean by nested queries? In nested queries, it will have a complete select from where blocks, that means select query with from clause and where clause within another query. Now in the query in which you are nesting or you are adding the query, that will be called as outer query. So one query will have another. So the one which contains that will be called as outer, and in that query you are writing one more, right? Like within the same query you are writing another query, so that will be called as inner query. Okay, and here when we are writing the select where from where clause within the query, so this inner query can appear either in where clause or select clause or your from clause or in any other clauses of your select query. Okay, like how you require, like what is the requirement, based on that you can write the select from where clause within the different clauses of your retrieval statement. Now here to compare the values, like usually we are writing the nested query whenever we want to find out some values, and that values need to be compared with other attribute values. Okay, usually what you will write, like super SSN is not null or department number equal to 5. So there we know what is the value of that attribute, but if we don't know what is the value, we need to fetch from the table and then we need to compare, then we can go for the nested query. Okay, and for the comparison we will use in, not in, exist and not exist operators. Okay, in, not in and exist or not exist operators are used for the comparison. So these operators will compare the value with a set of values. Okay, because the inner query will give you the set of values, so with those values you have to compare. So it evaluates true if the value which you are comparing is present in the result of the inner query. Okay, it evaluates to true if V is one of the elements in a result of in a query. Now this is one of the example. We are finding the project number, okay, project number on which Smith is working, and he is controlling the department for some of the projects. So we need to find out both the project numbers, like one is like Smith is working on that project numbers or the projects, and another one is he is controlling the department in which that project is carried out. Now the first thing is, here we will see we'll find out the project number where he is controlling a particular department. In that department the project is going on, okay. And then another one we will see, okay, he is working on that project number, and then take the union or OR operation. So here project number, we use the in operator. In operator, what it will do, it will compare the values of this project number with this set of values, okay. So here mainly we are comparing the project number with the project number on which Smith is working, and the project which is carried out in a department, and Smith is a manager of that department, okay. So like this we can write the nested queries. So here the nested query or the inner query appears in the where clause. You can see the select from where clause, the complete block appears in the where clause. Two queries we are writing here. Okay, so this query will give you the project number where Smith is controlling that particular department where that project is going on, and in the second query it gives you the project numbers where Smith is working, on which Smith is working. Okay, then you take both the values. So either the project number appears in this query result or in the second query result. So those distinct project numbers we want to list. Then use tuples of values in comparisons. Okay, here what happens, you want to compare multiple attributes, or you want to compare the tuples. Okay, tuple of values you want to compare. Then you can write those attributes within parenthesis, and then here while selecting also you have to see, okay, two attributes were selected in the inner query. Okay, select project number hours from works on where employee SSN is this one. That means we check all employees who are working on the project with same project number and number of hours on which the employee with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is working. We need to see that their project number and the number of hours must be same. If it is same for such employees, you get the employee SSN. Okay, then as I said, you are using in, not in, exist, not exist operators, right, or the functions. Now here along with that, some other operators can also be used to compare the values, like any, some, all, or equal to, greater than. So these kind of operators you can use. Now here in this query you can see you are selecting the employees information, or you are retrieving the employees whose salary is greater than the salary of the employees working in department number 5. Okay, so how I will get the salary of employees working in department number 5? So this query will give you the different salaries of employees working in department 5. And this is the outer query. In outer query, I'm fetching last name and first name of the employee, and I'm comparing the salary of employees. That means for each employee we have to compare, and we have to see that the salary of this employee is greater than all. That means it must be greater than all of these values. If I get here 25,000, 30,000 and 50,000, then if the employee is having salary more than 50,000, his last name and first name will be retrieved. Okay. Then next is we can use the aliases. When we are writing the nested queries, we can use the aliases for the tables so that we can avoid the ambiguities. Okay. So here I'm taking again the same query, but here we have used the alias employee and employee 2. Okay, two different instances we are taking, and then we will compare if the salary is greater than all salaries of the employees from department 5. And in this we are checking if the salary is greater than maximum. See, in the second query, what is the difference in the second query is, when I use the aggregate function maximum, so it will give you only a single value. Okay, it gives only the single value. But in the previous one, it will give you multiple values. It will give you set of values. You're comparing with set of values, then you can use all, any or some. But here only one value it is giving. That's why we can just use greater than. Okay, don't write greater than all because only one value is there. So simply you write greater than. Then next one, again we are checking if it is less than all. Okay, if the salary of the employee is less than salary of employees working in department number 5. And here in the next one, if the salary of the employee is less than the employee who is having minimum, who is getting minimum salary in department 5. Okay, so here only one value, that is why we use less than operator. Now any means, okay, there is a difference, all and any. Now I said when you use all, and I gave example like 25,000, 30,000 and 50,000. So the employee who's getting more than 50,000, his information will be fetched. But here if I take any means, it will say, it will check, okay, if it is greater than 20,000, okay, that employee's information you need to get. And if it is greater than 30,000, then okay. Or if it is greater than 50,000, then also fine. So it will check if it is greater than any of these values. Okay, then for such employees, you fetch the first name and last name. That is the difference. Okay, all if you use means it should be greater than whatever value you have in the list. But here any means if it is greater than any of this value, then that will give you the true condition. Okay, so that is the difference between the any and all. Now as I said, you can use the aliases when you are writing the nested queries. Here the query says retrieve the name of each employee who has a dependent with same first name and is the same sex as the employee. Now in dependent also we have an attribute called sex, and in employee also we have the same name. Now how to differentiate these two variables or the attributes? For that we will use the table aliasing. Okay, so here first I'll take employee as E and in this dependent as D. And when we are comparing, see, no need to specify employee table in the inner query, okay, because it will refer employee table which is there in your outer query. Okay, so E dot F name equal to D dot dependent name, and E dot sex equal to D dot sex. Okay, here this is the common name for the attribute. So we need to specify from which table we are referring. That's why instead of writing employee dot sex or dependent dot sex, we use aliases. Okay, dependent D and employee E. Then the next or the last topic in this session is correlated nested queries. So whenever a condition in the where clause of a nested query, it references some attributes of a relation in the outer query. Okay, then these two queries are called as correlated. Okay, in the where clause, whatever you write, where clause of the nested query, if some of the attributes which refer the values of outer query attributes, then those will be called as correlated nested queries. And the different here, the correlated in the correlated nested query, the inner query or the nested query will be evaluated once for each tuple in the outer query. So for each tuple in the outer query, your inner query will be executed or it will be checked. And nested subquery evaluated multiple times. Okay, like how many times it will be executed. It will be executed um, it will be executed as the number of tuples which you have in the outer query. If you have 10 tuples in the outer query, so those many times for each tuple it will execute 10 times. Okay, so nested subquery evaluated multiple times, repeated for number of tuples in the outer table. If you have 10 means 10 times it will be executed. Okay, so for each tuple it will execute the inner query and it will compare the values. Now what is the difference between your correlated query and nested query? With a normal nested subquery, the inner select query runs first and executes once. Okay, returning values to be used by the main query. Here main means outer query. See in the previous examples, when you are when you are finding greater than the maximum value. Okay, you are finding the employee salary, whether employee salary is greater than maximum salary of employees in the department number 5. So in this what happens, for each employee tuple you will execute the inner query. Okay, then it is called as correlated, but if it executes only once, if the inner query or the inner select query executes only once, then it will be called as nested query. And a correlated subquery, however, it executes once for each candidate row considered by the outer query. Okay, for each row the inner query will be executed, but in the normal nested query the inner query will execute only once and that result will be used by the outer query. Okay, so this is the difference between your nested and correlated subquery. So I'll show you the demonstration in the next session, like how you can execute the nested queries. Thank you.